What does it take to become a global icon? For Michael Jackson, the answer started in a tiny house with too many people and too little space. Imagine sharing a single bedroom with 5 siblings while dreaming of superstardom. It sounds impossible, right? Yet, this was Michael's reality before he became the king of pop. Stick around because each chapter of his life is filled with surprises, some uplifting, others heartbreaking, but all fascinating. Michael Jackson was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana, a town more famous for its steel mills than for producing legends. His family of 10 squeezed into a modest home, where the walls probably heard more music than any concert hall. Michael and his 5 brothers shared one cramped bedroom, their dreams growing bigger than the space they lived in. But what pushed them out of that house wasn't just talent, it was their father, Joseph Jackson. Joseph wasn't your average dad. He ran the family like a boot camp, turning his children into the musical phenomenon we now know as the Jackson 5. But his methods weren't gentle. Stories of his strict discipline and harsh punishments reveal a man who believed pressure created diamonds. And in some ways, it did. The Jackson 5's success took the family from Gary's tiny streets to West Hollywood's glimmering lights. But the price Michael paid for this transformation left scars that would shape his entire life. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. How did this small-town boy, molded by discipline and sacrifice, transform into a global superstar with a life shrouded in mystery? Keep watching, because later we'll uncover the groundbreaking invention that Michael patented himself, one that left audiences around the world stunned. Michael Jackson's changing appearance was one of the most debated topics of his life. Whispers, rumors, and tabloid headlines speculated endlessly. But the truth is rooted in a medical condition that changed more than just his skin, it altered how the world saw him. In a candid 1993 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Michael revealed that he suffered from vitiligo, a condition that causes the skin to lose its pigment and patches. It wasn't just cosmetic, it was deeply personal. Imagine waking up one day and realizing your body was becoming a canvas for something you couldn't control. Michael used makeup and other treatments to even out his complexion. But instead of compassion, he faced relentless judgment. The media wasn't kind. Speculations swirled that he was bleaching his skin to change his identity, erasing his roots. But those close to him knew the truth: vitiligo wasn't something he chose. It was something he endured. The condition became another chapter in the story of a man who constantly battled public scrutiny while trying to maintain his sense of self. But this was just one of Michael's battles. What if I told you that despite this struggle, he managed to channel his creativity into an invention so unique that it changed the way people experienced his performances? Stay tuned, because that's coming up soon. Michael Jackson wasn't just an artist, he was an innovator. He didn't stop at creating unforgettable music and choreography, he wanted to defy the limits of what was physically possible. And he did just that with one of the most iconic dance moves in history, the gravity-defying lean from Smooth Criminal. Here's the secret behind that move: it wasn't just talent, it was technology. Michael and his team patented a pair of specially designed shoes that allowed him to lean at an impossible angle without falling. These shoes had slots in their heels that connected to pegs on the stage floor, anchoring him just enough to make the move look effortless. Imagine the audience's reaction when they first saw it. Mouths open, eyes wide. How could he lean like that without toppling over? It became one of his signature illusions, proving that Michael wasn't just a performer, he was an architect of awe. But what's more fascinating is how this invention reflected his mindset. For Michael, creativity had no boundaries. He constantly looked for ways to push beyond the ordinary and give fans something they'd never seen before. And speaking of giving, Michael wasn't just an entertainer, he was also one of the most generous celebrities of his time. How generous, you ask? We'll uncover the extraordinary lengths he went to in the next section, so stick around for the story behind his $100 million gift to the world. Michael Jackson didn't just perform on the world stage, he used it to make a difference. Beneath the glitz and glamour, he was deeply committed to helping others, especially children. In fact, his generosity was so immense that he holds a Guinness World Record for supporting the most charities by a pop star, -39 in total. One of his most remarkable acts of kindness came during his Dangerous World Tour. Instead of pocketing the proceeds, Michael donated every single dollar, over $100 million, to charitable causes. Imagine the lives that were touched, children given a chance to dream, communities receiving the help they desperately needed, and hope spreading to corners of the world that often feel forgotten. But his giving didn't stop at money. He founded the Heal the World Foundation, an organization dedicated to improving children's lives globally. From providing vaccines and education to organizing hunger relief, Michael's actions proved that his concern for the world was far more than a public persona. Yet, for someone so generous, Michael also had a curious side that not many people knew about. Did you know he had a personal library with over 10,000 books? The reason behind this obsession might surprise you. That's coming up in the next section, so don't miss it. Michael Jackson was known for his musical genius, but there was another side to him, a quieter, more introspective side. Few people realize he was an avid reader who surrounded himself with books on everything from history to science to philosophy. His personal library reportedly held over 10,000 titles, making it as eclectic as his music. Reading wasn't just a hobby for Michael, it was an escape. Growing up under the glare of fame, he craved knowledge about the world he couldn't explore freely. Books became his refuge, offering a glimpse into lives, ideas, and cultures beyond his own. Here's an amusing twist. Rumors suggest that Michael once racked up nearly $1 million in overdue library fees. Whether that's true or not, it shows just how deep his passion for reading went. His thirst for knowledge wasn't just for entertainment, it influenced his music, his performances, and even his approach to life. But how did Michael translate this endless curiosity into the unforgettable dance moves that mesmerized the world? The moonwalk is a perfect example. The origin story of this iconic move might not be what you expect, and that's coming up next. The moonwalk. Just hearing the name brings Michael Jackson to mind. It's a move so iconic, it feels like it was invented just for him. But here's the twist, Michael didn't create it. Instead, he took inspiration from a surprising source and turned it into a phenomenon. The origins of the moonwalk can be traced back to street performers and even French mime artist Marcel Marceau, whose smooth, gliding movements captivated audiences long before Michael's time. Michael, ever the keen observer, saw the potential in this seemingly simple move. He reimagined it, perfected it, and unveiled it to the world during his performance of Billie Jean in 1983. The reaction was electric. Fans couldn't believe their eyes. Was he gliding on air? Was it an illusion? It was Michael's genius at work, taking something familiar and transforming it into pure magic. From that moment, the moonwalk became synonymous with his name, cementing his status as a performer who could make the impossible look effortless. And speaking of his legacy, Michael's children carry his name in a way that might surprise you. The meaning behind this decision reveals a unique insight into his family life. Stay with me for this story in the next section, it's one you won't want to miss. Michael Jackson wasn't just a global icon, he was also a father. And like everything in his life, he did things his own way, including naming his children. All 3 of his kids share his name in some form, creating a legacy that's as personal as it is profound. His firstborn, Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., carries his full name. His second child, Paris Michael Catherine Jackson, bears a blend of his name and a tribute to his mother, Catherine. And then there's Prince Michael Jackson II, affectionately known as Blanket, a nickname that puzzled many but was Michael's way of expressing protection and love. This choice wasn't just about tradition, it was a reflection of how deeply he valued family and identity. Despite the chaos of his public life, Michael wanted his children to have a connection to him that was unmistakable and enduring. But while Michael's family story offers a glimpse into his softer side, his life wasn't without challenges. Financial troubles and controversies shadowed his later years. Yet, even in adversity, Michael continued to shape history. What were the struggles he faced, and how did they influence his lasting legacy? Stay with me as we tie everything together in the conclusion. Michael Jackson's life was a tapestry of brilliance, hardship, and enduring mystery. From a small-town boy sharing a bedroom with his brothers to a global superstar redefining music, dance, and culture, his journey was anything but ordinary. Along the way, he battled personal struggles, from a strict upbringing to public scrutiny over his appearance, finances, and personal life. Yet, Michael's ability to rise above these challenges and leave an indelible mark on the world is what truly defines his legacy. Whether it was through his awe-inspiring performances, groundbreaking inventions, or his unmatched generosity, Michael's impact went far beyond music. And while his story ended too soon, the questions and intrigue surrounding his life ensure that his legacy will continue to spark curiosity and admiration for generations to come. Michael Jackson's life was full of twists, triumphs, and trials, but there's always more to learn and understand. What's your favorite memory or fact about Michael Jackson? Share it in the comments and spark a conversation. And if this video left you with something to think about, take a moment to share it with someone who appreciates stories that go beyond the headlines. Because when you share, you keep the story alive, and that's what Michael's legacy is all about.